Good evening. It's Sunday evening, and it only means one thing. Monday night, 8 o'clock kickoff. Tottenham Hotspur are back in action. Yes, Tottenham Hotspurs versus Fulham in the Premier League. Can Spurs regain that top position? Let's do the preview show. My apologies, never have sensitive keyboard, because when you're trying to do something, it starts hovering onto something else and everything else starts playing. So you got a little bit of everything, a little bit of this and a little bit of that. We didn't get a little bit of Monica or a little bit of whatever, but we got that. Anyway, welcome to the preview show. And as always, joining me this evening is the one and only Sam, Spurs for Life. Good afternoon. Good evening, Sam. How are you?
Yes, very good. Thank you. Had a good day. A little bit tired, obviously preparing for Monday, but Monday brings Tottenham, so that means it's a good day.
It is. And I think tomorrow it's going to be, everyone keeps going on about, tell me why I don't like Mondays. Well, that's going to change tomorrow, innit? Because everyone's going to love Mondays when we go back to the top of the league. So, lots of games. One today, which was weird. Villa battered West Ham. And then yesterday,
apologies.
That's all right. And yesterday we had loads and loads of games yesterday. So looking at the table as well, what games yesterday or what teams impressed you, and was you surprised by anything? I mean, I was surprised by Villa. Then again, I wasn't, but very convincing win today. Anything that stuck out for you in your mind?
Yeah, Liverpool made a bit more hard work of it than I thought they would do against Everton. It was a tougher game. Obviously, the scoreline being 2-0 looks like it was comfortable, but it wasn't for them in most of it. Just get rid of the towel in the background. Very unprofessional. Who else? Just looking at the results here. Brentford getting a 3-0 victory. Of the teams in and around us, obviously, we've got to look at City. They got their 2-1 win. We can go back to the top of the table and be 2 points clear. Obviously, the big game, Chelsea versus Arsenal. If you wanted both teams to lose, this is as good as you're going to get. A draw, I think, both teams not picking up maximum points, certainly for Arsenal, is going to help us if we can pick up the 3 points tomorrow.
Yeah, and let me just say this. So, Liverpool won. It took them very late in the game to score the first goal, with Everton having 10 men. And then they sealed the game in added time. But that's okay for Liverpool to do it, yeah? When Spurs done it against Liverpool, hellfire. Are we then not going to ask for a replay? Or Everton not going to ask for a replay? Because Canati should have got a second yellow card. Yeah? So, what goes around comes around. But it's ironic, isn't it? When Liverpool are in favour of shit, nothing gets talked about. Everything's calm. There's no replays. There's nothing. I was a bit miffed with that.
That's football. You're going to get that you're going to moan when things don't go your way. And when they do go your way, you're not going to say anything because it's like, well. So I understand Liverpool's point of view. Yeah. They won the game at the end of the day. They were top for a little bit. Man City's back top now. It looks, if you look at it, there's 5 or 6 teams in and around that. If you look from the top of the table to 10th place where Chelsea are now, there's only 9 points between 1st and 10th. In my opinion, that's as close as we've got for a long time. There's no teams cut adrift. If you look further down, there's only probably 4 teams involved in the relegation scrap. So it's going to be a very competitive league. And once you see it all Constantine up like that, it means each team's going to be playing each other. So it's whoever gets a consistent run of games, Sid, that's going to start, maybe edging away from the pack. Maybe.
Yeah, and you know what? It's going to be very interesting, like you said. I think come January, I think even now you look at the league table and it's like there's little bits of movements, but it's nothing concrete. Everyone's jumping up and down, but it's going to be very interesting in January because, like you said, there's a lot of teams there and thereabouts. A lot of games for them. We've only got like games here and there every other week, apart from that December when we've got 3 games in 7 days, which I'm sure we'll talk about at some point. But it's going to be very interesting. I totally agree with you, man. It's and I think it's going to be fascinating because everyone's taking points off each other, apart from us at the moment. No one's taking points off us, apart from Brentford.
And well, let's look at it. Let's look at the top 7 teams: Manchester City, Arsenal, Liverpool, Tottenham, Villa, Newcastle, Brighton, Man United. All of those teams in that top 8 are involved in Europe because that's where they finished last year. So, you know, Brighton are involved. Are Brighton involved in Europe? They are, aren't
yes,
they?
They are.
Yeah, of course they are. Villa being the same, Liverpool obviously the same, Arsenal, Manchester City, Newcastle, Champions League. We've seen what they're doing. Even Manchester United being where they are. Do you know what I mean? They're involved in Europe. So, again, if you look at it from a week-to-week perspective and you think to ourselves, we need a bit of luck. We know that our squad is not the biggest squad. But then you look at someone like Villa. They're not the biggest squad in the world. Brighton, not the biggest squad in the world. And on paper, I think we match them. I think our 11, 12, 13, 14 matches any of the teams in the Premier League. So, yeah, let's just say it's a nice feeling to go into tomorrow's game knowing if we win at home, we're top of the table, mate.
Yeah, and like you said, it's down to us, isn't it? It's the ball's in our hand now. We've just got to go and do what we've got to go and do, and which is win the games. And we're more than capable of doing that at the moment. So let's get into it then. Tottenham Hotspurs versus Fulham at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium tomorrow at 8 p.m. You'll be there. I'll be there as well. So both of us will be there. Hopefully it'll be a very, very good game. Before we move on, I'd like to thank everyone that's joining us. Please make sure if you're watching it on PRTvSpurs that you smash that like button, follow the subscribe button. It doesn't cost you a penny. And also PRTV, as in Paxton Road TV as well. Make sure you subscribe, smash as well. But we're moving over to PRTvSpurs, so all likes and subscribes appreciated. Wherever you're watching, please join us. Give us your comments, give us your predictions, and we'll come to that. So, tomorrow evening at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Are you looking forward to the game, Sam?
Yeah, because I think we should win. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to that. Looking forward to the style of football because I know what that's going to be like. So you've always got to be positive now as we go into any Spurs game.
Absolutely, absolutely. Is that background all right, or shall I change it? Shall I make it a little bit darker? Is that better?
Yeah, it's better.
Right, cool. Right, so as you can see, 32 games between the Cottagers and the Lily Whites. Spurs have won 18. Fulham have won 7. Spurs have won 10 at home. We've won 8 away. Fulham have only won 2 at White Hart Lane, Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, and they've beaten us 5 times at their ground. 7 draws. So they've only won twice at our place, Sam. 10 visits. Again, it's one of them we ask this week in, week out. We should be favourites again because obviously they've. And as we go further on, you'll understand why I'm making us proper favourites this time around, because there's a lot of stats in there which I'm making out to think they're not going to win tomorrow. Your opinion?
Listen, we've got so many plus points for this game. We're at home for one thing. We've come back from the international break with no injuries, no significant problems. We know the players that are not playing. We've got players to come back. Everybody's pushing for a place in the squad. Everybody's pushing for a place in the team. Fulham are not the team of old. No Mitrovic, they're not playing in the same way. Marco Silva's having a difficult time getting them to play well this season consistently away from home. I know it's in London, it's London derby, but again, I'm not looking at this Fulham team. I know we had them in the League Cup and they were able to get a result, but that was away from home and in different circumstances. I think we've improved a lot since that point. So 3 points is all I'm looking for from tomorrow's game.
Yeah, nothing less, mate. We're not expecting anything less. So let's have a look as we delve into it further. So this, I think, will be, so 20th of January 2019, 2-1 to Spurs at Craven Cottage. Wednesday, 13th of January 2021, 1-1 at the Hotspur Stadium. Thursday, 4th of March 2021, it was 1-0 at Craven Cottage to Spurs. September 3rd, 2022, Spurs 2-1 at the Hotspur Stadium. And 23rd of January 2023, Spurs 1-0 at Craven Cottage. So in the last 5 meetings, Sam, we've won 4 and we have drawn 1, which brings us on to this one. So this is the meetings at home. I've only gone for the last 4 meetings. Spurs 2-1, Mitrovic for them, Højbjerg and Kane. Then it was 1-1, Kane and Cavallero. 3-1 to Spurs, Mora, Trippier, Kane, Jojakovic for Fulham, and then 3-1, Paulinho, Kane, Kabul, Sidwell for Spurs. So you're looking at that, Sam. We've not played them that often because look, you've got Kabul, and then you've got Trippier, and most ironic thing for me in there is Kane scored in every single one of them games.
Yeah. When you go so far back, it's a completely different team, completely different management setup, completely different feel around the club. I guess the only game we can really look back to, in my opinion, at the moment, is the game recently in the League Cup, because even that one was a 2-1 where Højbjerg and Kane scored it. Mitrovic is no longer playing for that team now, and I think he was a massive problem. As a player, he always seems to cause problems against the bigger teams. I don't think they've got anybody like that. Somebody else in the comments might be able to tell me about their team, but I don't really know too many of the players that I would say, I'm not looking forward to playing him. So it is what it is. We should be winning. My prediction will tell you how confident I am.
That's good. I mean, one thing for sure is this man's not going to be scoring tomorrow. I tell you that now. But we don't need him. We've got enough players now. We've got our Captain Marvel in Son. Have you seen that video on Twitter? Somebody, I don't know where they've got it from, but it's a guy, and I'm assuming he's either South Korean or North Korean. He's in a kitchen cooking in a Spurs top, and the caption is, "This guy looks more like Son than Son looks like Son."
Oh my gosh.
I'm telling you, man, it is so uncanny. Because when I first saw it, I thought, what's Son advertising here in the kitchen?
He must look like him bad.
And I thought, wow. Yeah, if you haven't seen it, folks, have a look at it because it's so uncanny, man. It's mad. It's madness. Right. Previous 5. So obviously, this is going back from the beginning of the season. If you want to pick any, because we talk about these week in, week out, Sam. It's up to you if you want to talk about any one of them. But the last meetings is Spurs. We beat Fulham, Luton away 2-1, and Sheffield United, Fulham beat them 3-1 at home. Apart from that, ignore on their side. I was doing it, I've rushed it, but they've lost 2-1-2, drawn 1. We've won 4, drawn 1. Does the last 5 games? Well, obviously it does, because we're the form team at the moment. We've not lost. They've lost. Yeah, I'll rephrase that.
Go on.
Is that better for us?
Yeah. What I think what you can see from us, we're consistent in terms of our goal scoring. We're pretty much high goal scorers, create a lot of chances, blah 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 blah. I think apart from that game where they beat Sheffield United, we remember Sheffield United, the team that got beat 8-0 by Newcastle. That's when Fulham picked up 3 goals in one game. But before that, I don't think they scored more than 1 in the game. They haven't got any firepower. Their firepower is lacking, and that's why I think the problem's going to be for them. Not only are they going to struggle to get the ball off, unless circumstances dictate otherwise, a sending off, whatever happens, an injury, whatever. But if you're looking at the game from a normal perspective, Tottenham versus Fulham, all things being equal, we'll have 60% possession. They're going to try and play off the counter-attack. We scored a first goal. I think it's pretty much game done. And as I said, I don't see them having much opportunity to score goals tomorrow, or at least taking their chances. So
yeah, and I mean this says it all, doesn't it? They've scored one. They scored 3 against Sheffield United. Then they've not scored. Oh, yeah, they've
they
lost to
scored in that.
Chelsea.
Yeah, they scored in that 1-0 win. But like I said, it was only 1 goal a game, apart from the 2 losses, obviously. And then they've suddenly picked up 3 goals in one game against a team, Sheffield United, which, yeah, as I said, shipped 8 goals against Newcastle not too long before that.
This is it. And as you will see here, the season so far, or story so far, or whatever you want to call it, Spurs are 4th, obviously because of the games yesterday. We've gone down to 4th, and hopefully, well, not hopefully, we should be back tomorrow where we belong. We've won 6, they've won 3, 2 draws apiece. We've not lost yet, they've lost 3. This is the interesting part. Average goals scored per match, we're 2.25. They're averaging 1 goal per game. 1.63 they've conceded. We've conceded 1 goal. 3 clean sheets. They've kept 3 clean sheets, actually. Mm-hmm. Chances created, this is the bit. 2.75 Spurs, 1 for Fulham. Biggest win, 5-2 for us. Theirs is 3-1. They've lost 5-1. We haven't lost a game. Now, I know you like this bit, talking about this. Their stats in terms of, look at the goals they've scored, Sam. They're scoring only 1 goal, and they're only averaging 1 chance per match. Now, with our defence, that 1 chance, it better be good for them if they're going to create, because, you know, Romero and Van der Ven, top of the form, top form, and obviously Poro and Destiny Odeji. So you can't rule. Our defense is just mean machine, and they only scoring 1 goal. So created, goal scored, 1-on-1. What are you making of this?
As I said, the reason why the average has gone up slightly is because that last victory against Sheffield United, where they scored 3 goals. Apart from that, it would have been a lot lower. The chance to create per match, again, if you're looking at an average of 1 per match, considering they've played, I think, 4 games at home, 4 away, the majority of those chances probably created at home. You can see that they're a team, I think, from when they try and go defensive, they're going to be a transition team. They're going to be a team that's going to play off the counter-attack, and they're not going to create many, so they're going to try and take the opportunities that they get. So we are going to be needed to kind of be a bit more mindful about set pieces. And yes, there is going to be the odd chance over the top that they might create. But as you were saying, the defense that we've got in terms of the pace, they haven't got anybody that I think we should be even concerned about in terms of, oh, it's that player. What we do need to do is make sure we play well, the crowd stays with the team, no matter what the time is, and pick up the 3 points.
And I think what you're saying as well, them stats, right? They, it should be a foregone conclusion, but every game is different. Yeah, mentality is different. The way the games go is going to be different. Yes, we're creating a lot of chances. Yes, we're scoring a lot of goals, but is it going to be, one of them frustrating afternoons where we're going to have to dig deep to get the games like Sheffield United and the likes of that? Before we move on, I'd just like to add and introduce our very own Pav, PVV, Positive Pav. Good evening, Pav. How are you?
Hey guys, I'm good. How are you?
Good,
excellent, thank you.
So we've just done a couple of bits. The head-to-heads, 32 times. We've got a better record than them. We've done the last 5-6 games, and then we were just talking about what you see on the screen, Pav. So, and we were just discussing like their average goals per match is 1, goals conceded, and then their chances created per match is 1. looking at that, Pav, if you want to just quickly brief through it, it doesn't look that good for them, does it? Because they're not creating much, they're not scoring many, and like I mentioned to Sam, our defense is probably one of the meanest in terms of in the Prem at the moment. Van der Ven, Romero on form, Porro on form, Odeji on form. They're not going to have a hell cat's chance of scoring a goal, are they really?
No, looking at the stats as well, you can just tell the difference between us and them. And do you know what? I think, like you said, I think they're going to struggle against us, right? And looking at the way that when we were playing against them in the Carabao Cup, obviously we didn't play our strongest team and stuff, but we still put up a fight. And now that we're going to be playing, obviously, our first team as well, I reckon it's going to be a good match. I reckon they will definitely struggle against us. We're going to close them down. And I don't think it's going to be a match where they're going to really create chances and try their utmost to try and score a couple of goals against us. I think maybe potentially we will concede. But that being said, I don't think that they're going to win. I think it just clearly shows on there how much chances we create in comparison to them and how much goals we score per match in comparison to them. And we score way more than them. And I think they're struggling at the moment as well. Look at them. They're 13th, right? And look where we are at the moment. We're on a streak at the moment. And the way that we're playing, I think they're going to struggle against us.
Oh, he looks like he's frozen.
Oh.
He looks like he has frozen. I better start chatting from here then. You caught me out there, Sid. Yeah, completely agree with you on that one, Pav. Fulham, not the same team who we've had in the past. Definitely not the same. I better move my camera slightly. Now that Sid's gone, it's me and you. Anyway, it's not a problem. It's not a problem. Just need to take over, make sure the beard's all right. Okay, right, here we go. Nah, I think you're right. I'm looking forward to the game because I know the way we're playing is quality. We've had manager of the month, 2 months in a row, 2 players of the month, 2 months in a row. And if we win tomorrow, why isn't that going to make it, 3 in a row? The biggest thing that we've got to try to overcome is not to because of the results this weekend, we could take advantage of the Arsenal situation. Obviously, Man City with Liverpool win, we can go 2 points clear. And I think that's maybe a little bit of added pressure. Can we now win under circumstances where we're expected to win? Because we are expected to win this game tomorrow. Let's not get it twisted. The way we have been playing, we're expected to win. So that's what we've got to go out and do. We've got to go out and win. And he's back. He's back in the house. Put him back on that side. Move my camera. Oh, what are you doing, fam? Oh, he's gone frozen again.
Oh, he's gone again.
Oh, have I gone again?
No, you're not. You're right now, but you were frozen again. So I took over.
I don't know what happened there.
Not sure.
Not sure.
No, he's gone
But
again.
I hope you carried on as professionals do.
Yeah. You might be slightly delayed, slight lag. Yeah, you've frozen up again. Apologies, fam. Apologies, people. It's unfortunate with streaming issues. He's there still, but he's maybe 5 seconds behind myself and Pav. So we'll try our best until Sid sorts out his Wi-Fi because he looks like he's on 3G. He looks like he's on 3G, people. It's not 5. It's not 5G. Sid, you're on 3G. You need to come out and come back in if you. You need to come out and come back in, mate. If you heard that, that's a bit of delay. And we'll get on with the show. There he's gone. I have to move my camera again now. And he's got all the slides. But no, what I think we just need to, in terms of the team tomorrow, we know that players came back after the international break. We didn't have any injuries. A few players come off, had a couple of knocks, but everybody seems to have come through training this week, and everybody's available of the players that we know who are available. We've got the likes of Gil, GLC in contention, having, back fit. Bentancur's in training again. Is this looking good in terms of, having a few more players available? Brennan Johnson, again, hadn't played for a few weeks because of his slight hamstring pull. It's exciting now, right?
Definitely. And It's exciting because now Ange has the opportunity as well to rotate. He doesn't have that pressure that he has to keep players on for a big amount of time. Obviously, we're not going to have Basuma tomorrow, so it'll be interesting to see who he plays in that position. But I reckon it's going to be a good game, and I think he's got, like I said, he's got less pressure now that we're starting to have players back, and I think it will be even better when Bentancur starts getting back into the team.
Yeah. So about the thing is, the question I was just going to ask you, apart from the obvious players such as like Maddison and Son, who's playing well, but then I start thinking, well, it's not just Maddison and Son, it's Romero, it's then Van de Ven, it's the goalkeeper. Porro's had great, you know what I mean? It seems like the whole team, Udoji, obviously he's coming 20, 21 years of age, playing like he's been in the league for a couple of seasons at least. Everybody, it's a massive, massive team effort. So I don't think we can necessarily say it's a one-player thing, but we have got some outstanding talent at this moment in time. Basuma is going to be a miss tomorrow. Do you expect Hotspur to be the one that take his place, or is there anybody else that might potentially be that central midfielder, defensive midfielder tomorrow?
No, I reckon Hojbjerg will be the one that Ange chooses, to be honest. But you're right in terms of the whole thing of, it's a collective team. I've said this before as well. This is what we're about. We're about playing as a team. If you look back at how we were playing with the likes of like Conte and Mourinho, it was more like a one-man team relying on like one man to do the job. But the fact that we're playing as a collective team now just goes to show why we are doing so well. There's no selfishness there. It's collectiveness, looking out for the other players, doing it together. That's what we're about. We're not just about, let me just rely on this one man. It's not. We're playing together, and it just goes to show that it pays off. And that's what's happening right now. That's why we are undefeated at the moment, because of the way that we're playing. If you look back at how we were playing last season and the season before, that's because we weren't playing as a team. You could clearly tell that there was no communication there whatsoever. But now it's completely different. And Ange has transformed us within a short space of time. And it's amazing as to what he's done.
Yeah, it really has been, because, you've looked at other teams in the league. And the direct comparison, obviously, we have to compare ourselves to Arsenal. And people can say, how can you compare yourself to Arsenal? I'm just talking about in terms of where we are, where the clubs have been over the last 10 years or so. And they've been on a 4-year process with Arteta. And they're all crowing that they're in, a race as of last season, having been 3 years in that process. Our manager's come in, not talked about a process as such, just talked about making sure that his players improve each session, not about each game, each training session. I'm a bit of a coach. I've done my level 3, so I kind of get that sort of coaching aspect of it. And that's all you do. You try and improve every single time you train, because what you get from in training, you usually put into a match scenario. And this is why last season, and this maybe even for a few seasons, the likes of Conte, do you know what I mean? Conte was just, he didn't coach anybody. Players. I'm not convinced he's running up and down when we saw that running up and down 20, 30, 50 laps, whatever it was. That's not doing the players good. I'm seeing proper training with the ball based on what we're doing in the game situation. And it's proving its way on the pitch. Now, tomorrow, where do you think this game's going to be won and lost for us? Oh, no, sorry. I'm not even going to use the word lost. Where do you think this game's going to be won for us?
Well, we're going to win it. I think, do you know what? I have so much confidence with the way that we are going at the moment. I don't think we're going to lose it. I think at home, at night, 8 p.m, under the lights, excellent atmosphere. Ange has got it in the bag. The lads are going to go out there and do their best. All we can ask for is you go out on that pitch and you show the effort. You show what we're about. You're not going to just be lazy. And that's what we've been doing for these games so far. And that's why we're where we are at the moment. It's not about, sitting back and just giving up, that sort of thing. We're actually showing effort, and we need to win this, right? Obviously, there's going to be that pressure now. Everyone's going to be like, oh, Spurs got to win this. And then if we don't, everyone's going to come for us or whatever. But
course,
I've got so much confidence now where we're at the point where we're going to go out there and we're going to show they're going to show us that, you know what, we can do it. And I think it's going to get to a stage where we're gonna enjoy football like we're enjoying it now, and it's going to continue and continue because of the way that we're playing. And I think tomorrow Ange just got in the bag. We're going to win. I'll say my score later, but I've got confidence. Let's go.
Well, I'm looking at the games we played. You know, we had Brentford's obviously first game of the season. Probably expected a draw from that. It looks like he's back again. I'm going to add him on. Fam, what are you saying? Are you okay?
That looks better.
Good?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's back from 3G. Let's change this round if you want. Back to the position. Let me get my camera back in here.
Sorry,
and
my internet just went down.
That's all good. No problem. We saw something that was like that. Anyway, I'm going to move over here. Yeah. Sorry.
So
okay, so we hadn't got to predictions yet. We were just like saying about the team, the expected team tomorrow. We expect to win with the 3 points. We don't expect anything other than that. I think the biggest thing is for me, and I think Pav maybe agree on this. The expectation now is to win. You know, we've had games where I don't think people expected us to get the result against Arsenal. I don't think people expected us to realistically beat Liverpool. Man United, we know what our record's like against Man United. So all the games that we've had so far, maybe apart from the likes of Bournemouth, Sheffield United, there's been a few games in there where we've been expected to win. But now, because where we are, we expect to win at home tomorrow against a Fulham team that's not got their best players in there.
I agree. Did you go through the team, yeah?
Not really, because we didn't have the slides, so we kind of just,
okay.
You know what I mean?
So, sorry guys, but predicted lineup for tomorrow then I'm assuming, Vicario in goal, Pedro Porro, Destiny Odegaard, Romero, Van der Ven. I'm assuming everyone is fit. So, but obviously Bissouma's suspended tomorrow, so Højbjerg is the ideal replacement. I don't know if you guys think anyone else skip or somebody else comes in.
I don't think so.
Yeah, no. Højbjerg is the ideal replacement. I think Postecoglou did say, didn't he, that he is the main man. He's the man that's going to replace Bissouma if he's injured. So, Maddison, Kulusevski. I'm gone with Richarlison purely because I know he said Johnson's training and that, but I've heard he might not be 100% yet to start tomorrow.
Who?
Brennan Johnson.
I don't think he'll start tomorrow. I don't think he'll start. No, I think he'll be that same team. The only change will be the Højbjerg for Bissouma thing.
Yeah.
You could have said there's an argument for somebody else with Richarlison, with Richarlison's chance that he's created or not taken, should I say? But I think he'll go with the winning team.
Yeah, I think Højbjerg's the obvious one, obviously, because Bissouma, it is what it is, and obviously he can't play, so Højbjerg comes in. Richarlison one's a tricky one for me. Yes, he's not playing, but tomorrow might reignite his fire. I don't know about what you're thinking, Pav. Also, Gil's fit as well. So does Gil come in tomorrow instead of Richarlison? Pav, what do you think?
No, I wouldn't start Gil ahead of Richarlison, only because he's just come back. I wouldn't put him in the starting lineup. I'd get him off the bench at some point, but not there. I think you're spot on with how that's going to go down, though, the lineup. I reckon Højbjerg's going to come in. I don't think he'll play the likes of Skip or anyone else. I know what you mean in terms of the whole Richarlison thing, but I think Ange is going to give him an opportunity. I think this will be a good game for Richarlison. I think he'll give him a chance and an opportunity. I think everyone else you've got spot on. I don't think he'll change anything else.
Yeah. Sam, do you stick with Richarlison, knowing, obviously, he's not been delivering last couple of games, or now that Gil's fit? For me personally, I think this would be an ideal game to just bring Gil in from the start to see how he fares against Fulham, to build his confidence, his esteem, his confidence to move forward. Or does he just stick with Richarlison?
It's a difficult one because what I think the manager likes is players to prove themselves. He's mentioned about Richarlison and his effort before, and that he gets things out of him. Obviously, we need him to score goals. The problem tomorrow, if you start Gill or you start Brennan Johnson, is what does that do for Richarlison and his confidence? That the players have literally been out this long, not played, and they're straight back in. At least give him a chance against a team like Fulham, where he's probably more likely to get a goal and do his confidence good. And them other players are still pushing him in training and in, coming off the bench. That's how I would do it from a man management perspective. And I think that's how he'll do it tomorrow. But yeah, it's good to see Brennan Johnson off the bench. It's good to see Gill. Don't forget GLC. I know he's not your favourite player, Sid, but he's there in the background. He's going to give competition because he could obviously play off that left-hand side as well, although he's more of a number 10. So it makes things better for us because then you can maybe shift out Son. You could put Richarlison down the centre. It gives that opportunity to have a bit more dynamic changes in our front line. And I think we're going to need that definitely going forward in the season.
Pav, I had an interesting conversation with my son yesterday or the day before, right? We was talking about Bissouma not being fit tomorrow. He said to me, right, and this is where the debate got a little bit hot. He said to me, GLC comes in instead of Højbjerg. And I'm like, are you mad? I said, why? He said, because he thinks GLC is a like for Bissouma. And I'm like, hold on a second. Bissouma does a lot of work where he's holding the ball, winning tackles and stuff like that. I said to him, he doesn't do that, GLC. But he reckons GLC is as good as a midfielder as Bissouma, and he can fill in as for Bissouma tomorrow. Thoughts on that one, both of you? Pav first.
No, I'm sorry. I'm going to have to disagree with him. Don't get me wrong. He's a good player. I'm not going to say that he's not, but he's not at the quality as Bissouma. Not at all. And no, he can't hold the ball. He tends to lose it quite a lot as well. You can see it already. And I wouldn't agree that I'd put him in that place instead. I'd take Højbjerg over him. Yeah. Maybe you could give him an opportunity at some point, but I don't think there's no comparison whatsoever between him and Bissouma at all.
Sam?
So I agree with that. I think GLC plays better further forward. I don't think he plays deeper in a better way than Bissouma does in terms of the defensive duties. He could play deeper there and be more of a ball player, playing them passes and being the quarterback style. But when you want him to do a defensive job, I don't think he's as good as someone like Bissouma is. The stats prove that. What was interesting, though, is could Sarr maybe, because the way that we play our midfield, it's not like we definitely play with a dedicated number 6. Both Sarr and Bissouma have been playing that pivot in that role, and because of their engines, they're able to get up and get down. Maybe they could put Sarr in that and maybe have GLC and Maddison as 2 10s in a home game, because you've got more potency then, and it's at home against a team you're expected to win. So I could possibly see that, but I think that would probably signal the end of Højbjerg's career at Spurs if that was to be the case.
Yeah, I don't think he'll do that. I don't think he'll put Sarr in that position. I think he'll keep Sarr Maddison with Højbjerg at the back, because he said it, hasn't he? I don't need to bring anyone in. I've got an ideal replacement in Højbjerg for Bissouma, and he has to play. But like we said before, I think this system now is not going to suit Højbjerg. But let's see tomorrow, because if it doesn't work for him tomorrow, if he doesn't have a good game, then I think we need to look elsewhere. We need to look elsewhere. Right, before we go further and do the predictions, let's have a quick read through some of these comments. Thank you everyone for joining us. Make sure if you're watching us on PRTV to smash that like button. Stewie Spurs is saying here, we should win, but we are Spurs. Palace on Friday is the one that really worries me, though. But then they got absolutely battered yesterday by Newcastle, right? Absolutely battered. So, yes.
Was away from home, though, so at home they will be different. Remember the songs? You know what I'm saying? You know the songs.
Whoa.
Yeah, don't mess about with them Palace songs. They're dangerous.
Stewie goes, it's Højbjerg 100% that replaces Bissouma. I reckon Johnson will play left wing in place of Richie, if he's fit or not. Jews nuts agree. Haven't seen our players giving up no matter what this season. Jews put 50p in the meter, mate. I had 50p's, but they all got them special. They're all special 50p's now, so I can't put them in the slot because my missus will kill me because they're going to be worth a lot. So I've got no 50p's. Sorry. And then he's saying, stick with Richie to start. Damned if you do and damned if you don't. That is the problem with Richarlison at the moment, isn't it? You start him, you're expecting him to score. He doesn't play, then you take him off. And if you don't play him, then you got a problem. You bring him on, he plays well, then you play him. So it's damned if you do and damned if you don't. I agree with that one, Pav. Sam, agree with that one?
Listen, I think you've got to look at the games. We're playing a team in the bottom half of the table, a team not with their best players, not as strong as they have been in the past, against a team who are flying, unbeaten this season, scoring every single game, players coming back. Manager of the month 2 months in a row, player of the month 2 months in a row. We're confident. If we can't go into this game thinking that Richarlison has got an opportunity to score goals, then we never will, because the next games are going to be tough. We've got Palace, then we've got bloody Chelsea, then we've got Wolves. So the games are not getting easier. This is probably on paper the easiest game of these four that we've got.
Pav, I've asked Sam this anyway. Are you expecting a totally different game to the cup game? Totally different.
Oh, yeah, 100%. I mean, come on. Look at the team that we played against them in the Carabao Cup. We're not going to be playing that team. We're going to be playing our strongest team out there, right? Apart from Basuma. Anyway, yeah, so I don't think we're not gonna struggle. I said this to Sam as well. I've got full confidence in our team. I think we're gonna go in for the win. We're gonna show the effort on that pitch. And yeah, we're just going to be raring to go. I've got faith in them and I've got faith in Ange. I think he's just got something up his sleeve and we've just got to back him. The atmosphere is going to be electric tomorrow. So,
and the other thing as well is it's that incentive again, isn't it? We win tomorrow, we're back on top of the summit. So yeah. Right, it's that time. I know Sam's been itching all show since we started because he's got some madness in terms of the prediction. People in the comment section, please, if you leave your comments or prediction for tomorrow. And David Clark's already done that. Look at that. Spurs 3, Fulham 1, Son, Maddison, and Kulusevski. Right, without Sam, go for it.
4-0. I'm going 4-0 tomorrow, and I'll give you my reasons for that. We are playing a couple of days later after the international break, couple of days more, obviously playing on a Monday as opposed to Saturday. I think the extra day's rest does us good. We've got players coming back. What we now got is we got competition in training. The likes of GLC, I know I've mentioned him a few times, Gill, Brennan Johnson, all coming back into the fold. Hotspur, if he's likely to start tomorrow, has got something to prove. He was a first-team player for us for the last 3 years. He's going to want to say to the manager, listen, this is why I'm here. This is why I'm in international. This is why I played at Bayern Munich. This is what I'm here. So I expect him to have a good game. Maddison's going to pick up where he left off. Son's going to pick up where he left off. And we've got a lot of confidence in the players and our defence. 4-0. I'm getting Son a couple of goals. I'm getting James Maddison. I'm going to say Richarlison.
Ooh.
And you mentioned all the players that have come back. Johnson, Gill. But you forgot the main man is back. He's back. He's training. He's training with the squad. Mr. Bentenko is back, lad. Bentenko is back as well. So we've now got to start putting him in the mix as well.
I think the manager's already said he's probably going to be a few weeks away. So I don't expect to see him until probably after the Chelsea game.
Yeah.
At the earliest, I think.
Yeah. Right. So Sam, chest out, 4-0. He's going all out. All out. Pav, what you saying?
I'm going to go with what David said. I'm going to go with a 3-1. I think Son's going to score 2, and I think Maddison's going to score the other one.
Okay. There's a lot of people this weekend. I've got Son and Maddison in their fantasy, right? And they're all hoping, because I know my son's got Maddison and Son, and he's expecting plenty tomorrow. I mean, he's that confident. He reckons he's going to score about 26, 30 points, Son, tomorrow. And if Son's on form with Maddison, which both of them are on form, are looking to get the player of the month again, I think it could be a very, very dull day for the Cottagers. I mean, it's going to probably, it could be really bad for them. And Juice Nuts is saying, bit nervous because Bissouma's out, we should get the win. Mates 2, Cottages 0. Do you know what, dudes? For the first time in about 2 seasons, I can actually say I'm not that bothered Bissouma's out, because the whole team is playing so well. The togetherness, the unity with the manager and everyone is so good that one player not playing, I can sit down and think, you know what, it's not a problem. We can handle that. Bissouma, yes, he's been probably one of 11 of the best players, because you can't say not one of them's been shit. They've all been so good. I think we've got like for like replacement in Højbjerg coming in. Højbjerg needs to know now that I've got up myself. I've got to produce what Bissouma's been doing. So I'm not nervous at all. I think I'm not 4-0. I think 3-0 to Spurs. I think I'll go with 3-0. I think Son will score 2 and Maddison will score the other one, because you can't stop them 2 playing and you can't stop them scoring. So 3-0. And I think apart from Jews Nuts, I think we're all confident that it's going to be.
We always have to put little caveats. Obviously, there's things that can happen in football: an early sending off, a penalty given, decisions. I'm looking at the game in just the context of a normal game, whatever normal would be, whatever you see normal as. 11 players on the pitch, us playing the football that we played, Fulham not creating a lot of chances, us taking our opportunities early. We should go on and win this game comfortably, because Fulham have got not much firepower. If they go behind and they've got to chase the game, they're bound to leave gaps. Marco Silva's not he's not a defensive manager, but he's tactical, but he likes to attack. So he's not just going to want to sit there and defend, because they need to pick up points as well. So, yeah. Let's see what happens, man.
Absolutely. Pav, I know you're not going to be at the game tomorrow. You'll be watching it. So if you had that crystal ball in front of you now, you could look into that camera and give one message to the manager and the team. Go for it.
All right. Well, Ange, Spurs, lads, I've got faith in you, okay? Go out on that pitch and show them what we are about, all right? Put in that effort. Attack. Get that ball and get them goals. Let's go.
Let's do this.
And most importantly, get back to the top of the table.
And you know what? If we get back to the top, we're 2 points.
2 points.
I know people think it's only 2 points, but do you know what it does? Because of all the European games that are coming up for the others, and we're all going to be playing each other very soon. That's when we've got to take advantage. I think the Palace game on Friday is going to be a big test. Somebody put that in the comment. I think that's going to be a big test for us away from home.
I agree with you. I mean, Palace always away is not an easy game. Yes, they got absolutely trounced by Newcastle, but believe me, Hodgson is not going to let them lie. He'll be digging them back and saying, listen, we're playing one of the informed teams on 100%. Friday in Tottenham.
And they won't mind setting up defensively against us to counter-attack. They won't mind that.
Exactly. You know, and he's going to make it hard for us to go there and beat them. We're going to have to break them down. We're going to have to, like you said, play the full 90 minutes plus added on time to, if we have to drill out a result at Palace, so be it. But we'll discuss that on Thursday or whenever we do the 3 points.
You're right. We've got to get them 3 points first. We do this, and I think as fans, we obviously maybe look a little bit further ahead. I know that the team's not, the management's not. It's all about Fulham. We have to win against Fulham.
Absolutely. First things first, tomorrow, 8 o'clock kickoff at the Hotspur Stadium. Let them come to us. We walk away with the 3 points. We sit at the top of the league, and then we discuss Friday at another time. Right, ladies and gents, thank you very much for joining me. Thank you to everyone in the comment section. If you already haven't subscribed or liked or followed or everything else, make sure you go over to PRTvSpurs and Paxton Road TV. Smash that like button. I apologize for my lack of internet. I don't know what happened, when it happened, but I've got my sidekicks who can always run things. So when there's always one down, you can kick a man when he's down, but you can't with the team behind you when you got your farm to look after you. Hope you've had a good evening. Enjoy tomorrow if you're working. Get ready for the big game at 8 o'clock kickoff. Come and join us for the reaction show. Hopefully Pav will be available. Sam might be available somewhere on the motorway or in his car. I don't know
Or
where.
on the train. I might be getting by train as well, so I'll see what I
Might be
can
on
do.
the train. Darius, Sean, I don't know if they'll be available, but come and join us as we celebrate being back on top of the league. As we celebrate being back on top of the league. And I don't want to come back and my them words haunt me, but I'm that confident. And we're all confident. So have a great evening. Thank you everyone for joining us. We will see you tomorrow. And come on, you Spurs!
More developed football, more developed football.